Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. TEOFIMO Lopez. You probably read already, because I mean, anything that's more than 12 hours old, any piece of news that's more than 12 hours old is old news in this day and age. But TEOFIMO Lopez has been banging heads with Turki-Alashshake. He said that I think it's over the amount of money that has supposedly been agreed or not agreed for the proposed Devin Haney fight, which would have been a fight at 145 pounds, not 147. But Lopez and Haney, they were apparently going to meet. Everything had been finalised without anything being signed, but the money was not agreeable for TEOFIMO Lopez, and he went on a little Twitter spat. He posted a picture of himself with Alashshake and His Excellency, a DICKtator, D-I-C-K-tator. The D-I-C-K bit was in capitals. And he's been whining. And anyway, a lot of people have been saying, oh, he's biting the hand that feeds him. He's, what an idiot. And Turki-Alashshake has not really replied. I think Dan Raphael has made a couple of statements. He's normally got his ear to the ground, hasn't he? With reasonably accurate results. He said that Alashshake, let's put it this way, the bout with Haney is in jeopardy, I think was how he phrased it. Okay, well, that's not surprising. Someone calls you a dick, it's not, you're not ingratiating yourself to him, are you? But I have a slightly different reaction to this compared to a lot of commentators, because like I say, most people are saying, oh, you can't bite the hand that feeds you, he's paying you an astronomical amount of money. And I kind of like it when a guy, to use a biblical term, kicks against the pricks, and says, I don't give a fuck, what am I? Am I a professional or am I a prostitute? Because if someone's paying you money, that doesn't mean you're prepared to do anything. You come to an agreement as to what the job entails. You interview the employer as well as the employer interviewing you. You come to an agreement. It's not a case of, well, if you want this money, I want you to take anything. No. If Lopez feels he's being hard done by in some format or other, if there are things he's not happy with, he's entitled to say, well, hang on a minute, don't try and treat me as some sort of employee. We've got a deal here, and a deal is two-way traffic. Now, okay, going on Twitter and calling someone a dick and, making stupid remarks, it's not the way to do it. It's not the most intelligent, diplomatic way to do it, by far. But then, let's be honest, I mean, TEOFIMO Lopez and his unbelievably idiotic father, they're not exactly going to, rival Dorothy Parker or Oscar Wilde in the witticism stakes, are they? They just talk a lot of crap, don't they? Really? I mean, that fat father, God almighty. That corner work in the Kambosos fight was the worst I've ever seen a so-called professional trainer give anyone. He was, shit comes out of his mouth. It's almost unbelievable. So I suppose the old apple don't fall far from the tree, does it? T.O.'s going to be a bit of a twat as well, I suppose. And he has claimed actually that this is just kind of like, my sense of humour. And I speak as someone who has a very politically incorrect sense of humour. I'll laugh at anything if it's funny. I won't necessarily feel good about laughing at it. I might feel guilty about laughing at a joke that I find funny. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to deny that I don't find certain things funny that everyone else goes, oh, you can't say that in this day and age. Well, yeah, you can. In fact, I'm glad someone did, because I thought it was fucking funny. That's always been my attitude. And T.O. seems to have that sort of attitude. Probably the Saudis don't. Probably the Excellent Turkey doesn't find T.O.'s sense of humour funny. And he did make a sort of rather cryptic comment. He said, maturity is to realise most things don't deserve a reaction. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good little bon mot from Mr. Alashshake. But then he is the Excellent Turkey, full of wisdom. Oh, yeah, full of wisdom. But I am quite glad that Lopez is not, bowing down to his excellency and constantly, kissing or even licking his ring, if you know what I mean. No, I'm rather glad someone's kicked against him. Whether the Haney fight happens or not, I don't know. But that's not particularly a fight I was that fussed about. Not really. The other option initially was for Lopez to fight Boots Ennis, but I think Boots Ennis it's strongly rumoured that he's going to move up to 154 and probably not before time. He's too big for welterweight, really, to retain his strength and stamina. He's a bit too big. Anyway, what do you think? Do you agree with Teo's, cavalier, I don't give a fuck attitude, or do you think he's shooting himself in the foot, cutting off his nose to spite his face, or any other cliche you care to mention? You let me know what you think. Comments below. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button, because it makes sense. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.